You can't have an anxious mind and a relaxed body. And whenever people initially hear that, they think it can't be that simple. But it is that simple, at least in concept. But in execution, getting into a calm body can take several months. Number one, usually whenever my clients come to work with me, they're just like I was whenever I suffered with severe anxiety, panic, and depersonalization realization. They're always up here. They're living in their heads all the time. And they don't have much interoception, which is the experience of the embodied self. They've learned how to make it through the day by living perpetually disembodied. Because if I'm up here in my head, I don't have to feel the pain of being embodied, the tension, adrenaline, emotion, and fatigue. And so before you can even begin to self-regulate, which is releasing the tension, adrenaline, and emotion from the body, you first have to get in tune with your body. And I remember for me, it was a very progressive process. I tell people I was just like a brain floating around. I wasn't even aware that I had a body. And whenever I started to do exercises to get back in tune with my body, I started to feel my legs tightening up. And I was like, what the heck is this? And then all of a sudden my arms were tightening up. And I started to feel the physical effects of negative emotion and even positive emotion eventually too. But it took a long time just to get back in my body before I could even begin to release the buildup in the body, which also takes a lot of time. But what I noticed is the more that I could be safely embodied, meaning that I could be interoceptive, I could experience my embodied self without experiencing all of this tension, adrenaline, and emotion and fatigue, I started to be able to be present again. And I noticed that in direct proportion to my body being calm, my mind started to be calm too. In fact, I was so not used to having a calm mind that whenever I stopped having all these anxious thoughts and catastrophic fears and worrying about everything, it felt weird. It actually stressed me out. I call this state transition anxiety. It's where you have walked around in an anxious state for so long that your brain thinks that it's safest to be anxious. Our brain assumes that what's familiar is safe. And so whenever you start to be calm, initially your brain's like, what is going on here? This is unfamiliar, and unfamiliar equals dangerous to our survival brain. But over time, it went from being weird to be calm to now it's weird to be stressed.